Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, bringing you guys a Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay commentary, which you guys are watching in the background. Is a tactical nuke I got on Atlas Superstore while there was an enemy advanced UAV in the air. Also, I was using the kill chain perk, and I did not actually call in a VTOL or a chopper gunner while I was running this perk because I believe there was an enemy VTOL up, but I still ended up getting my streaks anyways, so it just turned out to, I guess, be okay. But it's basically like I was only playing with two perks, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this gameplay. Now, what I wanted to say here real quick is thank you guys for coming out to my test stream last night. We did a stream here on YouTube, which is where I'm going to start off streaming for the next couple of weeks, and we will see how things go. If it messes with the YouTube sub boxes and you guys are not seeing my videos pop up because I heard some weird things can happen like that, then what I'm going to do is just switch over to Twitch. But I hope that's not the case because I would like to try to keep everything here on this channel. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep the VODs after I stream because I would like to try to keep that not as a video that's going to be staying on the channel. I would just rather the streams be for interaction. We can talk about ideas of videos or what you guys want to see, as well as really I just want to make the stream somewhere where you guys can really just interact with me, not really going for any sort of crazy gameplays or anything like that. I just want it to be more chill, having fun, and just communicating with you guys. So let me know what you guys want in the comment section below, if you'd rather me keep the VOD on the channel or let it go. Last night there was an error with that one. I was having some problems. It seems like it's just stuck on processing, so I don't think it's going to come out. But it doesn't matter because the first 2.5 hours is literally me just trying to figure out how to get Modern Warfare to quit bugging out with the full screen glitch whenever you're duplicating screens. But anyways, so today's video, I start off a little bit rough in this gameplay. I was getting roughed up by the enemy team a little bit, and I kept telling my friend, I was like, bro, I literally just cannot play today. Like, I was just doing really bad. And so things switch over. Things end up turning out pretty good afterwards. I ended up doing pretty well. I ended up getting a tactical nuke. There was an enemy advanced UAV too. I was on my streak. I think I ended up getting my advanced and calling it in. But today, the video topic is going to be about how to deal with enemy UAVs and enemy advanced UAVs, and more so on the enemy UAVs if you were not running Ghost. So the reason I want to talk about this is because it was asked from a subscriber in my Twitch chat, or not Twitch chat, stream chat last night here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So there's a few things you guys can do about what to do whenever there are enemy UAVs or advanced UAVs. One of the things you can do is run decoy grenades, but I don't really recommend doing that because stim shots are so good, and honestly, they're really only situational, especially I would say maybe if you're playing something and, you know, just a bunch of enemy advanced UAVs and you're close to getting nuked, maybe then decoy grenades might help you out a little bit, but a smart player is going to know it's just a decoy and it's not an enemy right there. But the main thing you want to do is you want to start baiting your opponent. And what I mean by this is it's a lot easier whenever there is an enemy UAV in the air. And the reason it's easier for that is because you're not updating in real time. You're updating about every 5 seconds on the enemy's radar, and they're going to be knowing where you're at. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start baiting them. So whenever you hear enemy UAV, you want to think, okay, the UAV is sweeping since they just called it in. Start counting, I believe it's every 5 seconds the UAV will sweep. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to think 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, it's sweeping again. You know, you want to be thinking that in your head. You want to be counting those seconds subconsciously. You don't be sitting there obviously focusing that hard on it, but you want to be subconsciously thinking about that while you're playing, is how often is that UAV going to sweep, and you want to think of when you're getting swept on the radar, and then that's whenever you're going to move from your position. Okay, and the reason is because people are red dot chasers in Call of Duty. It's just been like this forever. Not so much in Modern Warfare because red dots don't show up on a minimap by default, but in past Call of Duty games, people are red dot chasers. And what this means is they see someone shoot or they see the UAV sweep and they see that red dot on the minimap and they just sprint right at it. Alright? They don't use any sort of strategy other than I'm just going to rush right into this gunfight. And that gets them killed if you're a smart player and you know how to do the timing on that. So you start listening for footsteps, you hear if they're sprinting at you, that's whenever you want to hit a super sprint jump around a corner. You want to camera them. See how that guy just did a long jump like that? That's a super sprint jump, which is basically whenever you double tap your sprint, you press the jump button, you're pre-aiming, and you hit somebody. You'll see me do this a lot especially in the gameplays where I might be running hardline and there's an enemy UAV, or if I'm running restock and stuff like that, you will see me do a super sprint jump around corners, and I do it even whenever the enemies don't have UAVs. It's just you want to get better movement, and you want to take enemies by surprise, and you want to be unpredictable. The thing about UAVs and advanced UAVs is they're going to make you a lot more predictable. So the whole point here that I'm trying to make is whenever you hear an enemy UAV or enemy advanced UAV, you want to start playing different than you already are. If you're playing super defensive, you're going to want to play a little bit more aggressive, but I don't mean aggressive as in running towards the enemy. I mean aggressive as in constantly switching up your spot and constantly being on the move, so that way that radar has to sweep, they have to try to recalculate your position, and you just want to be very unpredictable towards the enemy. Now, what about enemy advanced UAVs? Because in my case, in this gameplay, there is an enemy advanced UAV gets called in. So one of the things you can do is obviously call in an advanced UAV if you're close to one or one of your teammates has one. But this is where the counter UAV is a really good kill streak. A lot of people in this game in the higher MMR lobbies are trying to go for nukes. They're going to be running advanced UAVs. The counter UAV in this game, if you know how to place it, is extremely strong. And where you want to place it is at the bottom of the map. So you always want to place it somewhere in one of the four corners of the map whenever you pull it up on your iPad, as we'll just call it an iPad, alright? So basically why you want to do this is because it's going to make it a lot harder to be seen, it's going to be a lot harder to be shot down. Now one of the things is I don't really recommend just saving the counter UAV at all costs, like thinking, oh my goodness, I gotta hold on to this thing just in case someone gets an enemy UAV or enemy advanced UAV. As you guys can see, the enemy advanced UAV was called in right there. But you don't want to hold on to it just being afraid that all game you're going to get streaked on, because that's just ridiculous. And on top of that, it's actually much more beneficial to just go ahead and call up that counter UAV throughout the game, because it lasts a very long time, if not a minute or over a minute, if it's not shot down. And that's why you want to get really good at placing that thing properly. So I recommend what you should do is just keep calling them up. You know, play aggressive if you're running the counter UAV. Run hardline. You'll get it every 3 kills. You don't have to run hardline. You can run ghost, you can run restock, you can run whatever you want. But constantly calling in counter UAVs is more beneficial than you think, because the enemies are not going to see the position of their teammates, so whenever they're playing aggressive, they might run right into your enemies that are just camping windows and stuff like that, right? It's going to completely block their decision making based off of their teammates' location. So the counter UAV is a much more powerful kill streak than a lot of people think, and I've been seeing it starting to be used a little bit more whenever I'm playing, but most people just call it in over the middle of the map because they want to scramble people's HUDs, and I honestly highly advise against doing that, because people are just going to look up in the sky whenever they get scrambled and they'll be like, oh look, the counter UAV is right above me, and then they're just going to melt it out of the sky. So like I said, I recommend you place that thing smart and you basically use it whenever you get it, or if you know you're playing against people and your team is just really, you don't trust your team, and maybe you're streaking up, you got to be in the right position when you call that thing in, or else the enemies are just going to know where you're at from the UAV sweep, they're going to know where you're at from the enemy advanced UAV, and you're probably going to die while trying to call in that counter. But the counter is the best counter to the advanced, no pun intended. So, with that being said, there still are a few other things you could do, and that is, of course, Ghost and Suppressor, just because you'll be completely off the radar. Suppressor is just another great way, even if the UAV is up, whenever a normal UAV is up, your radar pings on the minimap, or your gun, I should say, pings on your minimap. I don't know why I said radar pings. But your gunfire will ping on the minimap like it's normal Call of Duty, like in the past. So basically, gunfire shows up on radar, so therefore, if you're running a suppressor, it will not, and that's one of the ways you can also counter the UAV. I almost always run a monolithic suppressor or tactical suppressor on my guns for that reason, because it weakens the UAV, and you don't even really have to run Ghost if you do this, because you're only going to show up on a radar every 5 seconds, and if you play it smart, you can generally win those gunfights. Now, obviously, if the enemy player you're playing against that's running a UAV is cracked, it's probably going to be very hard to outplay them, but you get what I'm saying. It's situational, and you can switch to Ghost anytime you want in a match. Remember that, as well as if you want to put a suppressor on your gun, you can constantly be switching things around. So get a feel for how your enemies are playing the match, and that is whenever I would say you should put on Ghost or a suppressor. I think suppressors you can run from the beginning of the match just because they're good in general, but the thing about Ghost is you don't have to start off with Ghost, okay? You can hold on to whatever perk 1 or perk 2 you want to use, and then if you just know the enemies are just spamming constant UAVs, I would then advise switching to Ghost. But anyways, now back to the gameplay here, because I've finally explained all my thoughts on that. I am so close to this nuke. We are losing, and this is our only ticket to victory basically at this point, and my friend ends up calling up an advanced right now. Look at that. Basically, I gotta say, if he did not get that advanced, this nuke would have not been possible, because I would have just had no idea where I was going, because we are just so pressed for time. I ended up picking it up right there and calling it in, and we secure the dub for our team. So that was almost a nice loss, but I ended up pulling through with a tactical nuke. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully I made sense on this whole ghost debate or whatever, you know, when you should be thinking about enemy UAVs, advanced UAVs, all that kind of stuff. But let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below, and we'll go over that. And I'll probably be streaming at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see whenever I can. I'll try to figure out some more things. I'm trying to get more things set up. So anyways, I'll see you guys all soon, and have a great day. Peace.